Good afternoon. Welcome again to Jesus the Way the Ministries, and this is Pastor Cecil Victor John here at the Ukrainian First Baptist Church. We're going to be doing a mobile Bible tour. Shortly, we will join the rest of the group. So I would like you to please watch this video because it is very important so we can know the history of the Bible. So I pray that you guys are going to be blessed and wish you all the best for the new year. Thank you. Here we are at the First Ukrainian Baptist Church. We're going to go inside the mobile Bible truck, and I pray that everybody's going to watch this vlog is going to be blessed. So let's follow the group and we're going to join the Bible truck. All right, so here we are going, and my daughter is following me. So we are inside the Bible truck, and you can just make some videos first, and I'm gonna see Martin. Do you mind if I put this to you, because then your voice will be really good?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Now, so our guide is gonna give us more details about. Can you tell a little bit about yourself to the audience?
Yes. So I'm Martin, and I am a tour guide in this museum, and I'm about to give you a tour.
And how old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
He's only 17, guys, and he has way more knowledge than I do. He's gonna be a great pastor.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So as you can see that that's the birth of the Bible. He's going to tell us about that. And over here, so, okay.
Yes. So, do you guys know who Moses is?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, perfect. So, at the times of Moses, they did not have alphabet. What they used was hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphs are just signs, symbols, and one symbol can mean a whole entire sentence. So it was very hard for people to actually understand what these symbols mean. So there's about 1,000 symbols, and it was very hard for people to understand. But Moses, he knew all of them. Later, when he grew up, he went to the mountain Sinai to get the 10 Commandments. That's when we got the very first Hebrew alphabet. 22 letters, a lot easier than 1,000 signs. When we got the Hebrew alphabet, we got this. This is how they used to read and write. So this is Greek translated to English, and it's an example of how they used to read and write. No punctuation signs, no spaces, everything is just together. That's how they used to read. Later, we got the Hebrew Masoretic text, this thing right here. So this was the very first Bible that had punctuation signs, spaces, all those kinds of things. This is only the Old Testament because, well, it's Hebrew. Now I have St. Jerome. St. Jerome made the very first translation of the Bible from the original languages, Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek, and translated the Bible to Latin Vulgate.
Is this a Hebrew Bible?
What?
Is this a Hebrew Bible?
Latin.
Latin.
Yes, Latin. Yes. John Wycliffe, he translated the Bible from Latin to English, but he made mistakes. Like, instead of writing the word repentance, he wrote do penance. Do you guys know what do penance means?
Oh.
Do penance means you have to do good deeds, you have to do something physical in order for God to forgive you. And like repentance is the complete opposite. So he made that mistake and churches banned his translation. Johannes Gutenberg, he made the very first printing press. He decided to print the most famous book at that time, which was the Bible. So he printed the Bible, and it takes him 5 years to make the very first copy of the Bible. Why? Because he had to put out every single little letter, all these different designs, these different things. That's why it took a long time. After he was done with the first copy, it took him 6 days for the rest copies. So first one took 5 years, rest took 6 days. What did he do on the 7th day? Rested, correct. Now I have Martin Luther. Martin Luther, he translated the Bible to German and wrote the 95 Theses. Do you guys know what the 95 Theses are? Yeah? So for who doesn't know, 95 Theses is like a list of 95 problems that the Catholic churches did. So Back then, Catholic churches, they would profit off people. They said you need to pay for your salvation, pay for this, that. And Martin Luther knew that was wrong. He read the Bible and he was like, right, this is not what the Bible is telling us to do. So, wrote the 95 Theses, the list of 95 problems, translate the Bible to German so people have more access to the Bible. William Tyndale, he translated the Bible from the original languages, Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek, and translated it into English. He had no mistakes, but back then, the government did not like that he made the translation to English. So he decides, all right, let me make more translations. The government came to his house, wanted to send him to prison. So they find out that he fled to Germany. He was hiding there from jail. So they caught him, they brought him back, sent him to prison for 500 days, almost 2 years. And after he got out from jail, they thought, well, he's going to stop risking his life making translations of the Bible. But no, he started doing the same thing all over again. What happened? They caught him and they burned him alive. They burned him at the stake. And his last words were, Lord, open the King of England's eyes, which worked. Because 80 to 90 years later, we got King James. King James, he read William Tyndale's Bible and he was like, all right, I like the Bible. And he decides to make the Bible public. And he hires 54 men to translate the Bible, and it takes him 6 years to translate the full entire Bible, from this English to this English. Why? Because it's almost 100 years apart, and the English has changed. So that's why it took a long time for them to make a new translation of the Bible. That's why we got the King James Version of the Bible. Then we have the Torah. The Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible, the 5 books of Moses. Since it's Hebrew, they read from right to left. So, when they were writing the Torah, they could not make a mistake. When they were writing it, if they made a mistake on anywhere on the page, they had to rip out that page and restart the whole entire page again. They could not erase it. They could not do anything. They only had to restart the whole entire page again. And every single time they would write the word Jehovah, like the Lord, they had to bathe themselves. They had to take a bath so they were clean again. Only then they can continue writing the Torah. And one Torah is made out of 170 skin of calves, which is really cool. Yep. Then we have Bible cross references. Bible cross references are really cool thing. So every shade of gray you guys see means a different book of the Bible. Every arc, every line you guys see means a cross reference. So if there's a prophecy written somewhere here in the beginning or some kind of story, years later when they would mention that prophecy, that's a cross reference. So anything that is mentioned in the Bible are cross references. So do you guys want to guess how many cross references there are in the Bible?
You told us last time, but I forgot.
Yes. There's 63,779 cross references. A lot of cross references in the Bible. Yeah. Then we can see that in 1300, it took about 2 to 3 years to make one copy of the Bible, and it was the price of a castle. In 1550s, it took about 6 days, and it was already with the Gutenberg press, and it was the price of a luxury car. Then the price goes down to a pair of shoes, price goes down to a dozen or 2 dozen eggs, and now I have it free on our phones, which I count that as a blessing because now everyone can read the Bible without any excuses. Yep. Then we have this plant right here. So what they would do with this plant, they would rip out the first layer of the stem, put the middle part in water so it would become big. They would hammer it down so it's flat, place it vertically and horizontally. They would get something like this. You guys can touch it.
Wow, that is amazing. So they would write on this, right?
Yes.
That's just amazing.
Yep. And then we have a page from the Torah that's made out of calf skin.
Cat skin.
Calf skin.
Calf skins.
Yeah. Baby cows. Yep. So then we have a world watch list of 2025 of persecution of Christians. So you see North Korea is number 1 here. This little island right here. Right underneath it is South Korea. It doesn't really have any persecutions. And high school and college students from South Korea, they grabbed 1,000 flash drives, put them in 350 helium balloons, and sent them across the border to North Korea. When North Korea didn't return, they sent them balloons with trash as disrespect for sending them Bibles. But you can see there's a bunch of persecutions, and people die in those countries every single day just for being Christian, just for believing in something. We can just see how lucky we are to live in the United States without any persecutions, which is, we're blessed.
And as I said last time,
Yes.
most of those countries, they are all Muslim countries.
Yep.
Yes, except North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is a Muslim country.
Yep.
So it just tells you that they don't want to hear about Jesus.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, which is sad.
Which is very sad.
Yeah. Now I have this woman right here. So this woman, her name is Madeline Murray O'Hare. They called her Crazy Madeline. So back then in 1960s, you were allowed to pray in schools, right? That was a common. That was common for them to pray in schools. But she was an atheist and she hated Christians. So she finds out her son is praying in schools. So she goes to court, television, bans all prayers from schools. Before they banned prayers from schools, there was a lot of problems like conversation in classroom, chewing gum, making noise, running around, typical things kids do. Later, after they did ban prayers, there was a lot of things like rape, robbery, violence, theft, murder, suicide, drug addiction, which is very crazy. A lot of severe things. And like I said last time, I did experience 2 school shootings in my school, which was very scary, but God bless, I'm still alive.
Oh, there was a shooting in your school?
Yes, there was 2 school shootings.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that's really bad.
Yep. There was 3, but one day I did not come to school and I was sick, but I was at the other 2.
What grade you were in at that time?
That was last year.
Last year?
Yep.
Here in Sacramento?
No, in Washington.
Oh, in Washington.
Yep.
I cannot imagine that. Yes, God saved you.
Yes. Yeah. Very lucky. So, then her son, he became Christian, and he wrote this book, My Life Without God, and it talks about how crazy his mother was, how his life was before he met Christ, and he's 80-something years old today, and he's trying to bring back prayers back to schools. And in Texas, they're actually starting to pray in schools, which is really cool.
Actually, some other states are doing it as well now.
Yep, I heard about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's pray for California.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then we have more of a Soviet Union era USSR. So this is how they would smuggle the Bible. They would put Bibles in these propane containers, put Bibles in the very bottom, put propane here. So when soldiers open this up, they would see the propane come out, so they would just let them go, right? They would put Bibles in the gasoline tanks, Bibles in this secret compartment, gasoline in here. So when soldiers open this up, they would just let them go because you see the gasoline and it's heavy, so they would just let them go. Gasoline tank for a car, same concept. Put Bibles here and gasoline there. Now I have these trucks, so they would put Bibles in the very bottom of the truck, put some sheets, plywood, put coal on top. So when they're driving across the border, soldiers are not going to check through the whole entire truck. Why? Because coal is dirty, it takes a lot of time to dig through it, and they would just not want to waste their time if they find nothing, so they would just let them go. This guy, his name is Vladimir Ilyich, and when he was listening to a radio, this guy named Yarl Pesty said, whoever sends me a letter, I'll send them a Bible. So he, not knowing anything about the Bible, he decides to write a letter asking for Bible and gospel, not knowing it's the same thing. So he, since it's illegal to send letters asking for Bibles or anything related to Christianity, he writes a letter and puts in the bottle. So he puts in the bottle, and he was somewhere around the United Kingdom on the ship, threw the bottle in the ocean. It swam from here all the way here, city of Stockholm, landed exactly where it was supposed to go, and a woman, she picked it up, found it, so she went to America and gave it to an organization. The organization was us, and my director, he put the bottle out here. And a few years ago, just like you guys, some people were going through the truck. They saw the letter, and one of them kind of remembers the address because she grew up around that area. So he decides to make a few phone calls. Makes a few phone calls, finds out he's still alive, and we send him a Bible. So this is him at 27. This is him at 75. Yes, 75. So
Is this the original letter which he wrote?
not original. It's a replica. The original one is in Minnesota in the other
I see.
museum. So yeah. So this is him at 27. This is him at 75. 47 years after how he wrote the letter, he got the Bible. Yeah. Now I have this woman right here. So this woman, she learned how to write with her right hand and her left hand, and with every single finger on every single hand. So when she was making copies of the Bible or different hymns, government was trying to find out who it was, right? But they couldn't. Why? Because she had a bunch of different handwritings, and the government thought it was a whole entire organization, right? It was like multiple different people. But in reality, it was just one person. We actually have a few of her books here that I will show you, to her two different types of handwriting. One right here.
Oh, sorry. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Totally different.
So she's writing with two different hands.
Yep.
That's amazing.
This
And-
is upside down.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
No.
Oh, this is just amazing. Wow.
Yeah. Then I have this woman right here. So this woman, her name is Nadia, and her husband's name was Paul. So Paul, he went to prison for 10 years for being a believer, for being Christian. So she would go and visit him, and she wanted to bring him a Bible so he doesn't lose faith while in prison. So she learned how to braid her hair a certain way to smuggle a Bible through her hair for him to prison. That was one of the ways women would sneak in Bibles into the prison.
And somebody could read that, right?
Yes, I can read that.
You can read that.
Yes.
It's in Russian.
Yes, in Russian. Now I have this thing right here. So, I want you guys to look at these three bookshelves and tell me, what would you say is a Bible? What looks more like a Bible here?
This one right here.
All right. What about you guys?
This one.
Makes sense.
Maybe this one.
Yeah. Why? Because they're big?
Yes.
Yeah. But the thing is, that's what soldiers thought. They thought, well, yeah, maybe this is a Bible, or this is a Bible, maybe this is a Bible. But in reality, they would not think this is a Bible. Why? Because this is just a regular fiction book cover. It's not a Bible, and it's super small. But in reality, they would hide the Bible inside.
Oh, wow.
So this is the Old and the New Testament, the whole Bible?
This is only the New Testament.
Only the New Testament. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now I have this prison jacket. So back then, or if you were in prison for being Christian, obviously you cannot read the Bible in prison. So what they learned how to make these secret pockets to actually smuggle the Bible inside the prison jackets. And they would put not the full Bible, but pages. Everyone had different pages, and they would just switch them around to each other. That was one of the ways they would read Bible in prison. Now I have this bread right here. So this bread, it's about 10 years old, and it's real bread. So, cool thing about it is that it's real and didn't mold. But unfortunately, about a month ago, it fell and broke into pieces. So me and my team tried to glue it back together. That's why it looks a little bit funny. But the story behind it is really cool, because about Well, in Soviet Union, this woman, she was baking bread. She had a Bible on the table, and soldiers, they were going to people's houses to check for the Bibles. So she got scared. She grabbed the Bible, put it in the dough, and put it in the oven. So soldiers, they went through the whole entire house, checked the oven, saw the bread, but didn't do anything to her. Why? Because, well, it's just bread. Who would touch anyone for bread? So they walk out. She grabs the bread, breaks it in half, and sees the undamaged Bible inside. That was one of the most common ways they would smuggle the Bible to prisons or pass them around to each other. So, yeah, pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
And this is in this room. There's also a second room. So, who has been with me to the second room? You can look around here. If you want, the exit is here. You can leave whenever you like. You guys, I think we can proceed into the second room. I just need to double check.